You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John And Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by HauntedSiouxFalls.com.
Ooh. In the past year, did you find yourself drinking more often? The stress of the last year had that effect on many people. If you're struggling to get back to normal and get the booze out of your daily routine, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find the best option for you. There are many different programs. TimeForRehab.com will do our best to match you up with the program that will work best for your needs. Learn more at TimeForRehab.com. We want to help. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. And Dan, what kind of stuff do you find interesting today?
You know, following the marijuana thing around this country has been fascinating because it's been going on for a very, 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 very long time. Now, it used to be, you know, you had to get your stuff from your dealer, right? Because it's illegal drugs.
Yeah.
And all anybody really cared about is where can I get my stuff the cheapest? Really didn't have a whole lot to do with, hey, there's this, there's that, the other thing. Well, now, and I think at this point we're up to 15 states and Washington, D.C., recreational marijuana is legal.
Okay.
So it's getting up there, and a lot of states just have legal medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Some states have nothing yet. It's all still being litigated and whatnot. But because of that, now it's become, you know, the capitalists, let's make money. It's competitive, just like the soda companies, just like the car companies, just like everything else. And because of that, recent report, trend of cannabis legalization in this country is now booting the potency of this stuff right through the roof.
Really?
Recent study has shown roughly a doubling of the potency of cannabis plants just in the last couple of years. From 8.9% THC, that's what, you know, kind of gets you rocking and rolling, up to over 17%.
Oh. Okay.
And all told, over the course of the past full year, 1.5 million people have shown up in emergency at hospitals because of marijuana ingestion.
Wow.
Because they're freaking the heck out.
Yeah.
My cat's face is melting.
Steer clear of that stuff.
Oh my
or
gosh.
something. And yeah, they're really kicking it in. In fact, only one state, Alaska, they actually have it regulated, where it's like it can be up to here as far as the potency goes, and that's it.
Right.
And now other states are looking at this too, because again, what's happening is we'll go to this shop. They have the best stuff in the neighborhood.
Right.
They've got the best stuff here or there, and it's just spinning out of control. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I found that not surprised, but interesting, because I kind of suspected that this had been going on, and now here it is. There's a report on it. So, yeah, this isn't your father's marijuana, kids. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
No, and it's full of chemicals, and yeah, you got to be so careful.
Yeah, and it's like any other plant or any other thing. You can play with it and play with it.
Yep.
It's science, man.
Yep, that's
so,
right.
There you go. Just thought I'd bring that up because, darn it, I found it interesting.
And that is why we refer to this segment as Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. I'm John with a fun comparison. Some puppies are purebred and they cost more. Others are more affordable. And then there are free puppies. Nobody really knows where they come from, but they're free. In the advertising world, it's like that too. There are some super expensive ways to advertise if you can afford it. And there are some free things you've probably tried, but those dogs rarely work. Radio is kind of like that middle puppy. Affordable, will snuggle with you, and hopefully not pee on the rug. Radio advertising. Super affordable, a great investment, and man's best friend. Try it and let BetterResultsAdvertising.com bring your message to life. Time now for your morning coffee break, brought to you by Kaladi's Bistro on the corner of 26th and Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. And if you're stopping in there today, I encourage you to try the Sunny in Philadelphia. Oh, that is so good.
The Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a Sunny Philadelphia. It's like a Philadelphia. What do you call that? Philly cheesesteak.
Sure.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
Sunny.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
You just bring it up because you think they named it after us.
No, I'm sure they did.
And they should.
Just like that TV show ripped off our name.
Speaking of TV shows, and I'm not exactly sure why this would be. I went through the story a couple times and I don't see any clarification on it, but apparently if you and your family would like to be on a really popular television game show, now's your shot. Again, believe it or not, Sioux Falls residents and families now have apparently a fantastic opportunity to compete on the Family Feud.
Yeah.
We saw this. We actually talked about.
We said if we do this, you need to get married into the family, Dan. So we have Uncle Dan joining us.
Family Feud, producers are specifically right now calling for Sioux Falls people.
Yeah.
To get
that would be so much fun.
But it doesn't say why.
Right.
Because
Are they filming in Sioux Falls, or do you have to fly to where they're filming? Or that's what he meant.
And really, as far as requirements, they're really all not that difficult, but each family member does have to agree to participate. One major factor is families on the show have to be fun.
Yeah, of course.
Gotta be
there's a lot of fun families in Sioux Falls. That's why they want to get people from here.
Could be a big break. You could
I think
win.
that's fantastic.
Anything from a brand new car to $100,000.
I would do this.
And you get to be on nationwide TV, which apparently thrills some people. Me, not so much.
But you would go with if you had the
Here's the
opportunity.
story.
Like if we said we're going, you're coming.
I'm not
with.
a TV guy, not even close. I mean,
No,
I'm
but
just not.
just to laugh and have fun. That show is fun.
I've always questioned my decision to be a radio guy.
So have we.
So have a lot of people. You have to have 5 family members related by blood, marriage, or legal adoption.
We could adopt you.
You have to be a U.S. citizen.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't seem right. And have permission to work within the United States. There's no age requirement, but they do strongly suggest that people be at least 15 years of age due to some of the maturity of some of the questions.
Sure.
Okay. Now, if anyone on the team is running for political office, sorry, no. If you have anyone on your team who has appeared on Family Feud before, you have to wait 10 years.
Whoa.
To do it again. If anyone on your team knows or is related to anyone employed by anybody having to do with the company and or companies that produce that show, it's a big no. Other than that, all auditions are being conducted over Zoom, so you don't even have to leave the house.
Nice.
To get this done.
So you'll have to put on pants when it's time for the game show, though, right?
And then it says if you're interested, you can fill out this application form right here. And it says here.
Fun. We should do that.
I suppose we could send that here link to our Facebook page.
I could
or
do that.
something
Yeah, if you send it to me, I'll post it over there.
So yeah, but again, I wanted to see why is this, but there's absolutely no explanation why they'd be zeroing in on Sioux Falls. I have no idea.
So here was my first thought. So maybe the Zomers were so much fun that they decided, hey, we got to have more Sioux Falls people.
Maybe.
That's probably what it was.
What producers would think that?
Well, they would think that.
Well, if there's one fun family, there must be another.
Oh, yeah.
I've been here over 30 years, and I think I've met maybe 3 fun families.
Well, are we one of those fun families? On the spot.
We would definitely be fun on that
It's
show.
like, here's that family, and he's kind of fun, she not so much.
I would love to have my sister Jamie on there because her answers would crack me up. Probably wouldn't win us
we
any
wouldn't
money.
win.
And my
Okay,
daughter
take a
Taylor.
shot. I'll shoot this thing to you, and you guys can do whatever you like.
I
with
think
it.
my
Yeah.
sister Jamie and my daughter Taylor, me, you, and then we have to have one more person to fill out the 5.
Always keep in mind, people react really differently when they are on a set, man. And here's cameras, and here's microphones, and here's lights, and that's kind of a freak out to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
Well, very cool. Dan, thanks for sharing that, man.
Sure thing. Thought it was kind of fun.
Going to get some news from this guy here in a bit. But first, we have...
Are you really?
I am. We have Back to the Basics in Healthcare coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by HauntedSiouxFalls.com.
Many new students sign up for credit cards that are not very good. Have a conversation about how to properly use credit so they don't learn this lesson the hard way. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Want one that offers points? We have those. Want a card to help you build credit? We have those too. Bettercreditcards.com is designed to help you get a better credit card. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic, and I've got Dr. Harley with me. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Good morning, John. I'm always happy to talk with you.
We're looking at pictures on the screen here, which don't translate well to the radio, but it's pictures of me from the x-rays you took. Look at that. I got a skeleton in there.
Yeah, everyone does, yeah. I wanted to talk about, why we take x-rays. It really just helps us figuring out what's going on, what's causing some of the problems, how long things have been there, and, what's it going to take for them to go away.
It's quite the noggin I got over there. I'm looking at so now there's a line drawn on here that's got like a curve curve, and then that's not really the way my neck goes, is it?
Yeah. So when I take the x-rays, one, I'm looking to see if there's anything in there that's not supposed to be there, anything broken, whatnot. But really what I look at more is positioning. Do you have curves where you're supposed to have them? Or
I have a lot of curves, but just not where they're supposed to be.
Different kind of curves, or curves where, you're supposed to have them, but don't have them. So biggest one that I see a lot is in our neck. We should have basically kind of a C-shaped curve.
Yeah.
So all the curves in our spine, they develop as, we're in the first year of life. Babies, when they're working on, the holding their head up, well, that develops their neck curve.
Nice.
And then they start crawling, that develops their lower spine curve. So all of those curves are designed, with how we're moving. But then we have them so they can absorb the weight of gravity as we get to standing up and walking.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't matter if you're big, little, small, whatever. Those curves are still going to move gravity and your weight through your body naturally, because if they don't, we start to have, weight bearing on stuff that it's not supposed to. Yeah. So then things start wearing down unevenly, which isn't good. It starts to lead to more and more problems.
So when we look at me over here and I don't have a curve in my neck, that's not good, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah,
but we're working on that, aren't we?
That's why you're here. We're working on it. So yeah, we should have a C-shaped curve basically in our neck, but a lot of people don't have a curve in their neck anymore. Because what do most people do on a daily basis?
They're playing on phones.
Yeah, they're looking down at their phones. They're hunched over at their computer. They're sitting in the recliner, have their head propped up. You name it, that kind of stuff really causes us to lose that curve in our neck. Now, most people are like, well, why is that a bad thing? Is it, what's the problem with that? Well, that curve is supposed to move that weight of our head. Our head weighs 11 pounds, right? Down.
Mine might weigh more than that.
On average, everyone's weighs about 11
Look
pounds.
at that giant nugget. You almost need 2 monitors.
So now, the farther forward we start shifting our head, like our head goes past our shoulders, that's more and more of our weight of our head being pushed straight down. So instead of our spine taking the brunt of that, the muscles in our neck start taking the brunt of that.
So and then you get like a stiff neck and a sore neck and all kinds of other problems.
Yeah, you have shoulder problems, stiff shoulders, neck pain, tension, headaches, which a lot of people get because they sit at a computer all day, right?
Yeah.
So if those muscles are having to take up all of that force, makes sense that you get tension headaches by the end of the day because your muscles are getting tired.
So by coming in to see a chiropractor, and when you come to Balanced Life Chiropractic, you guys do the x-rays. But part of the reason for that is so we can see where we're starting. And that also helps you when you're treating somebody, you know what you're treating as well. So that's pretty helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Because if we didn't take x-rays on you, we wouldn't know that. So
just be guessing your way through it.
And some people, they might be like, well, I'm not getting the results that I want. It's not moving as quickly as I'd like. Well, this tells us your problems have been going on a lot longer than you realize.
Yeah.
They're going to take a lot longer to correct. So a lot of people, when they're like, oh, I went to the chiropractor, it didn't work for me. It's like the biggest thing is time and repetition.
Yeah.
So using all of the information that we, the technologies that we use in the office help us figure out how long is this really going to take to, fix the problems that you have.
So when it takes you 30 or 40 years to get out of whack, you can't just snap them back in 20 seconds, right?
No, unfortunately, that's not.
Wouldn't that be great, though?
That would be great. I mean, chiropractors, we kind of look at the spine, how an orthodontist looks at teeth.
Yeah.
How long do most people wear braces for?
A lot longer than a couple of days.
Yeah. 2 to 3 years kind of on average, and then they don't move all your teeth at one time, right? It's a slow movement over time, because if they moved all of them at one time, imagine that would
be in a lot of pain.
That'd be very painful, right?
So, well, if somebody would like to come in and see how chiropractic works for them with Balanced Life Chiropractic, what's the first step? How do they get a hold of you?
Oh yeah, they got to get a hold of us first. So they can call our phone. It's 605-215-1785. Shoot us a message on Facebook. We can chat through that. But yeah.
All right. And you can find them online, balancedlifesd.com.
Merry Christmas! Oh, you're not ready for that yet. How about Happy Halloween? At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all of the fun holidays throughout the year with funny, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we have a gift idea for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day, whether you buy these weird gifts or not. It's worth checking out. just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
And it's time right now for the newsiest news we do. It's News with Dan Farris.
Let's see. Wearing a shoe leather, banging on desk, demanding answers. That's what I do. I'm an award-winning news journalist. That's all there is to it. Let's see. We got shortages, this, that, and the other thing. Inflation on the rise, or it wouldn't be called inflation. It would be known as deflation.
Yes, it would.
Am I right? Who's with me? Delta variant, out of control. Crime on a rampage. Staffing shortages everywhere. Here we go. Here's an interesting story. This is kind of a bummer, really. Pay attention here. Dateline, Makoti, North Dakota, from the Associated Press. The first car-jumping attempt in 5 years by North Dakota's version of Evel Knievel ended in disaster. This past weekend. Disaster. Car driven by the man known as the Flying Farmer.
Wait a minute.
What, this is funny to you? The Flying Farmer corkscrewed off the ramp, rolled.
Oh, no.
Rolled like a cheap biscuit. Authorities said John Smith, 57, was alert after the crash Saturday in a rural gravel pit. He even tried to pull himself out of the car while talking to rescuers, but eventually had to be cut out with the jaws of life. Friends and family freaking out, rushing to the car to see if he was okay. He was actually taken away in an ambulance to a local hospital. The car totally mangled. Smith's previous jump was in 2016 when he flew over towering flames to clear a burning trailer. Smith, who farms that part of western North Dakota, said he was inspired by motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel while growing up. Yep, as a ute. He's gained notoriety for his jumps at fairs and other attractions across the state over the years. He's performed more than 100 jumps and has even done a jump on a frozen lake.
Well, there we go. That is super.
The Flying
Farmer. That's fantastic.
Hello, Husitz. You want a promo?
I'm saying.
From the sunny 93.3 News Desk, I'm Dan Farris, reminding you if it's news to me. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
In the past year, did you find yourself drinking more often? The stress of the last year had that effect on many people. If you're struggling to get back to normal and get the booze out of your daily routine, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to help you find the best option for you. There are many different programs. TimeForRehab.com will do our best to match you up with the program that will work best for your needs. Learn more at TimeForRehab.com. We want to help. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. Equities bounced back Tuesday to confirm support in the S&P 500 at the 4,300 level. With support now confirmed for the third time, it looks like the correction is over, but the market is not yet out of the woods. There is a major economic report due out Friday, as well as the peak of the Q3 earnings season still ahead of us. The NFP report could easily spark another rally in the market. The risk is that at such lofty valuations, the S&P 500 is still vulnerable to a sell-off. That sell-off could come within the next 4 weeks. The outlook for S&P 500 earnings continues to sour and is a leading driver of price action. If the earnings season puts too big of a dent into the market sentiment, the S&P 500 will likely enter a prolonged period of selling. That may last until there's more clarity in the earnings picture. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.